Before we get started with the speeches, I'd just like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank especially Mr. and Mrs. Kwan, Senior, not Junior. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Uwiko and our sponsors this evening. I think most people at their wedding would probably put me in a soundproof box. Kevin and Kwanika made the mistake of giving me a microphone. So I'm going to run with it, and before I hand over and introduce our speakers this evening, I'm going to tell a quick joke. If I could transport you to the gates of heaven, where there are two separate entrances. One entrance to heaven is for the men who have been nagged by their wives during their life. At least once, let's say. That line is long. There's another entrance to heaven, there's another gate to heaven. And that's for the men who have never, not once, not ever, ever been nagged by their wives. And that line is very short. There's only one man standing there. He's a meek and mild man, and he's standing there alone. And St. Peter, from up on high, looks down and he sees this. And he's sitting on his cloud, and he looks down at these gates of heaven, and he sees this lonely man standing at this gate. And he wonders, he needs to know, he wants to understand how this man managed to get through life that way. And he swoops down in his robes, and he descends on the cloud. And he says to the man, how is it that this has come to pass this way, that you are the only man sitting at this cloud, at this gate? And the man looks up at St. Peter and just says, I'm following instructions. My wife told me to stand here. So I think the moral, Kevin, is that we need to follow all instructions that we need to do. And with that, I'll pass it over to Anna.
When Kwanika asked me to help MC the wedding, and she told me that I would be emceeing with Nino, I was a little nervous because it was a very tough act to follow. But I've been so excited for this day for so many months. And so I'm from Los Angeles, and I work in a very small office. And essentially, since the day after Kevin proposed in Phuket, the 6 coworkers that I work with have heard about the wedding of my cousin in Hong Kong. Probably every other day I said, guess what? Guess what? I'm going to Hong Kong and I'm going to my cousin's wedding. And so, technically I'm not related to either Kevin or Kwanika. But I truly feel like they are my extended family. 2 years ago I moved to New York, and I was fortunate enough to be enveloped in my cousin Matt's group of friends. Who of course include Kwanika. And I feel so lucky to know 2 such warm, loving, fun, and fashionable people, because I can honestly say that Kevin and Kwanika are the best dressed couple that I know.
Yeah.
So all I can say is I'm so happy for you guys, and I'm so happy to be here on this day, and congratulations. So first we'd like to introduce the best man, Jonathan Maloney, who'd like to make a speech.
Good evening, everyone. I know how much I hate to be interrupted at mealtime, so I just wanted to know that this was Kevin's idea. For those who don't know me, my name is John, and I'm the best man. I've never been the best man before, so I feel I should make one thing clear. Nothing I say tonight is going to be original. I have borrowed and plagiarized pretty much everything. So if anyone thinks they've heard something before, it was probably from YouTube. But before we go any further, I'd like to raise your glass, or everyone to raise their glasses. to Kevin's parents, Irene and Kenneth, for what has been a magical celebration in honor of two incredible people.
Cheers.
Cheers. I don't have my glass, but cheers. Let's go on. I'll probably drop it anyway. And on behalf of the very handsome groomsmen here, can I just say to all the bridesmaids that you look stunning. You're welcome. Kevin is thinking the best man, but that implies that I am better or was more responsible than the other groomsmen, who have all played an equal, if not better role than I have in the last few months leading up to tonight. More importantly, Kevin, they were as equally malicious as I was during your stag weekend. So if you're still feeling sore down there, please spread the blame amongst all of us and not just myself. To be honest, it's pretty clear that the best man here tonight is not me, but Kevin. After all, that is why Kwanika is marrying him and not me. I'm more than happy with the title of good man or just fairly good man. Kevin is a man I admire for a lot of reasons. He displays a humility that is harder and harder to find these days with people. And is coupled with tolerance and respect for the people he cares about. Kevin, you are a beacon for dignity, honor, and sensibility. Especially since Kwanika moved back and stopped hanging out with me. Kevin, you also display a remarkable aptitude for organization and planning, as evidenced by everything you have done up until this point. By that, I mean the wonderful Kwanika blog and your fastidious Instagram. Can I also just say, though, that I'm so glad you've been keeping yourself busy for the last 12 months. Thank you. Tough work. Kevin, you are one of the most amazingly generous, tolerant, intelligent, and funny human beings on this planet. Kwanika knows it, I know it, and everyone else here tonight knows it as well. Now, I can't say anything about how two of the most beautiful people I know actually met, because unfortunately I wasn't there. I only met Kwanika last year when she moved to Hong Kong, and at first I had no idea what to expect. Very quickly it became clear that she is in fact superior to you in every way. But apart from muscle density, but before I end, I would like to say something to Irene and Kenneth again. A little over a month ago in Manila, I was there to witness Kwanika's family celebrating the fact she would no longer be a spinster. I accidentally called your hotel room in a drunken rampage at 5 a.m. And I woke you up twice. I want to say here tonight in front of all these lovely people that I'm deeply sorry. I was in fact trying to wake up Kevin in the drunken rampage at 5 a.m. I had no idea that you had exchanged rooms. I'm very, very sorry. Now, I was going to end with what I thought to be an obscure Greek analogy of how two separated souls find one another. But after long sessions on YouTube, I discovered it wasn't actually as rare or unique as I initially thought. Instead, I'd like to try to tell you a story of love. In almost every story you read, whether it's a novel, a poem, or a film, the adventure is the whole reason for the hero's being. It's the whole reason for the entire story world's existence. In a certain sense, every adventure is a metaphor for, every story is a monument to, the word love. The word love, sorry. It is, at its very core, what separates the novel from a lifeless narration of events, and what makes our lives worth reading. Kevin and Kwanika, you are our heroes tonight, and I can't wait to read the rest of your story. Now, if everyone could raise their glasses to two people who I hope to stand beside and grow very, very old with, to the gorgeous bride and groom, I wish you both a long and beautiful life together. It has been my greatest honor to stand here tonight with you. Cheers. Cheers. Now, I'll hit the bar with some tequila over there. So, who's next?